Everybody will teach you survival skills. We want to teach you thriving skills. We're serious about being silly. Do you believe life is better with glitter? Do you want to come out and play with us? Whether you're a parent connecting with your kids or you're an adult connecting with your inner child, the Unicorn Scouts is for you. We are dedicated to getting into the habit of joy, and whimsy is the way. We don't care how old you are, what your gender is, who you love, how you look, where you live, or what you believe. You are a unicorn. Even if you don't have a kid, you have an inner kid. And being a Unicorn Scout is permission to come out and play. I think that every adult needs more whimsy in their lives.
The unicorn is a symbol of transformation. For this unicorn seeks a better world through the purifying purgative powers of destruction. Its purpose, like that of the Hindu god Shiva, is to tear down and to renew. The unicorn was adopted by the mysteries as a symbol of the illumined spiritual nature of the initiate, the horn with which it defends itself being the flaming sword of a spiritual doctrine against which nothing can prevail. That the unicorn symbolism takes on greater significance when the practicus ritual of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn is considered, a secret occult society that helped to usher in today's occult revival, whose members include the infamous Aleister Crowley.
That's the baby right there.
Right here?
Uh-huh, it came out of her already.
What'd they do to the baby?
Then David took it and kept throwing it against the wall, and he killed it, and he took it in the house.
No, you saw that?
Yeah. They took it in an old caboose. And they had these things they called Spains.
Spain?
Yeah, Spains. They stuck it up my butt.
Who
Was
stuck
it?
it?
David.
Your dad?
Uh-huh. Ow, did it hurt.
They burn the bodies. They either do that, they'll chop them up and dump them in the ocean, or they'll pour them in concrete, or they take and they use them for communion and eat them and then make bones out of the tools.
Daddy was heading the meeting, and he wore a real-life baby foot around his neck. She says they each drank the blood, and then they all hurt me. Said, how did they hurt you? She spread her legs and pointed to their crotch and says, right here.
He made us have sex with them and with other guys, and he's done it with other people. I don't know, I just don't like him.
Jimmy talks about having a gun held to his head, about being shown a skeleton, about having to touch the skeleton. He has drawn pictures of a child being sacrificed. He's talked about animal sacrifices. He's disclosed molestation.
Kill kids and be there and involved in everything else that happened. And I had to be there. And if I didn't, he threatened, like, you're going to be killed, or people aren't going to believe you if you tell anybody. Or I'll find you, you know. So he said there's no way out and you must do it.
They said that if we told that the devil would come and kill our parents, and he said that we wouldn't live to be the age 9.
What were they doing to you?
Molesting me.
What does that mean? What does molesting you mean?
Touching us in places we don't want, and then they would like threaten us, like, oh, you don't say a word else we're gonna come to your house and kill everybody except for you, and we're gonna send you to the devil and everything. And they would scare us really much.
We found out she had been defecated on, that it was smeared all over her body and put in her mouth.
Is it true, Bonnie, that you were made pregnant while age 11 and part of this cult? Is that true?
Yes, I was.
Had a child?
Yes, I did.
Is that your daughter?
No, not this daughter.
What happened to that child?
That child was sacrificed within the cult when she was about 6 months old.
Sacrificed how?
By being stabbed, and I was coerced into doing the act myself with my own child.
The police never found out about this?
The groups are extremely careful to cover up all evidence through using crematoriums and things like that. At least that's how I understand it, that obviously this can only flourish in silence and in darkness, and so they are very careful about conducting themselves in a way that they can't be discovered.
The problem with that is, number one, police officers don't believe it. I may believe it. You may believe it. Some people in your audience may believe it. They don't believe it. Number two, if you decide to investigate these people, you have to, number one, handle it from an undercover operation. If you put an undercover operation into effect, then you have, in a sense, your own police officers become involved in these heinous crimes, and they are, of course, become murderers. And in addition to that, if you do decide to investigate these people, it's a lot of work. And many law enforcement officers are apathetic and don't want to get involved.
Therapists have been directly threatened in ways that are quite alarming to them. The patient indicated to me that she wished to sacrifice the child with which she was pregnant. Naturally, I wasn't too enthusiastic about this. Shortly after this occurred, I started to get telephone death threats.
One of the things that I would add is that we are now hearing these reports from literally hundreds of therapists in every part of the United States.
Someone out there is telling us to back off.
This sounds crazy, but when you begin to hear this same thing time and again, different stories, but the same horrible underlying things, the same behaviors in the kids, I just want to scream.
In the first instance, Geraldo, the police removed demonology books from the Steinberg and Nussbaum apartment in New York. In the second place, I have seen writings done by Hedda Nussbaum, the adoptive mother of Lisa, if you will, in which she admitted that she was involved with a cult on Long Island that practiced rituals and conducted pornography and were involved in child pornography.
What's this?
Here is Hedda's diary.
This is her own diary?
Hedda's appointment book diary from 1983.
You can expect to be subpoenaed after this, sir.
Yes, and in it you can see here that Hedda was calling deprogrammers, cult deprogrammers, back in the fall of 1983 in order to try to get herself out of this group in Long Island that she had gotten involved with.
You have a sketch drawn by Lisa?
We found in the Steinberg apartment a sketch drawn by Lisa in her own hand.
Look at it, ladies and gentlemen.
Book. That's drawn by Lisa Steinberg with the satanic pentagram on it and with the descending crescent moon above it. This, I was told, confirmed by a principal involved in the case, that this was the costume that Lisa wore at the rituals on Long Island, and that the costume scared her. I was also told by a principal involved in the case that they put makeup on Lisa in order to make her look more like an adult, and she hated wearing the makeup. The prosecution is trying to present this case as a simple homicide. What I'm saying to you here now is that there is a lot more evidence in this case. The case goes much deeper than is being portrayed as going, and this evidence that we're revealing here tonight should certainly graphically illustrate that fact.
Said the unifying of traditions into a single common pool of experience, awareness, and purpose is a necessary prerequisite for further major progress in human evolution. Accordingly, although political unification in some sort of world government will be required for the definitive attainment of this stage, unification of the things of the mind is not only necessary, but can also pave the way for other types of unification.
Read what they do, Guy. They use blood in their rituals, and the blood that has the most power is baby's blood.
And little boys.
And children.
We all have preferences.
From the nightmares, to the running around the room when they disclose, to the latching on, to the crying and saying, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, don't go out, because if you go out, they're going to kill you." Threats, intimidation, fear. That's how this happened to my child and children all across the country.
I can't get the sound of babies crying out of my head. Christmas is the worst time because that's when we kill the most babies.
My daughter, who I named Wendy, was sacrificed at birth with an upside-down cross and then taken outside and buried. My son, they kept and let live till 2 years old, and then he was sacrificed.
That the reason for all of this death and murder is because of the belief in the demons and the power that they can get from that. And these people believe that the more innocent the victim, the more horrible the death, the closer you are at the moment of death, the more magic is released and the more spiritual power they get. Because they believe that these demons that come can't break through the circle to harm them. They cooked that baby on the grill. Oh my gosh. And I thought, he has really flipped out. I mean, I didn't know. And he said, oh, gross, it smelled like rotten chicken or rotten deer.